Hello, everyone. Welcome back as we try once again to bestow our football wisdom upon you.
And most likely fail.
Most likely fail. That's what we do. Mostly we fail. But we at least try, and trying is half the battle. Right? That's a saying.
Right.
Should be a saying.
Quote.
It's a saying now. Yeah. So we will start. Oh, I got out of frame there. I apologize. So let's start with what we did last week. Who we chose. Where we won and where we lost, right?
Yeah.
By the way, obviously we're doing NFL predictions again, and we are eating crow from what we'd said last week, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're going to be eating lemon meringue pie if we won.
Pie.
All right. So last week, first up, it was Thursday night football. It was Pats at the Jets, right?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Make sure you got all your things in line because I chose the Jets.
Yes, sir. I also chose the Jets.
And we both won.
Yes.
So those keeping track. 1-0. All right, next game was I thought would be a little bit more clearer than what it was. I was kind of shocked.
Yep, 3-2. Browns beat the Giants.
No, they didn't.
Oh no, they didn't. Giants.
They lost.
Um,
So we also lose. And the next game, Game 3, was the Bears at the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And the Battle of Midway, so to speak. I chose.
I was right.
He was right. I don't know. I thought maybe
You
perhaps.
believe in Caleb Williams?
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. I believe in the Bears defense. Next one. This is where it starts getting a little bit crazy here. It was the Houston Texans at the Minnesota Vikings, and I chose.
Oh, who saw this coming? Apparently he did.
I did see it. Sam Darnold, four touchdown.
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdown
Any
passes.
interceptions?
None. Donut. Goose egg.
0.
Again, where was this when he was on the Niners last year? We just asked him to play one game. We asked him to play one game last year.
He didn't deliver.
He was Sam Darnold, and now I don't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up was the Philadelphia Eagles on the road at the red-hot New Orleans Saints, who were scoring more points than anyone. But guess who won?
Upside down there. Eagles.
The Eagles did win,
It was a close game.
and I chose them.
Very defensive game.
It was a defensive game. Thought it'd be a little bit more on the
Offense.
offensive side. It was not.
Yeah.
All right.
Next game.
Next game was the Los Angeles Chargers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I went with the Mike Tomlins.
You're beating me really bad.
It's the wisdom with age. The gray. That's what it is, son. You'll get there someday. All
What
right.
does that mean?
It means eventually you're going to get old. That's basically what that means. All right. Next game, we had the Denver Broncos at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And can I say, what happened? Denver
It just
won.
happened.
Bo Nix looked like a quarterback. Defense looked like a defense. Baker Mayfield was getting trounced all over the place. Makes me either the Denver Broncos have an amazing defensive line or the Tampa Bay offensive line isn't as good as we thought. Either way, Denver
Wow.
pin their ears back. We're not stopping there.
You pleased us, Denver. You pleased us.
You pleased us. Are you a Denver fan? Do you
What?
like Denver?
I don't know.
Good answer. All right. Next, we had the Green Bay Packers at the Tennessee Titans. We both chose Green Bay.
Green Bay.
We were both correct.
Yep.
Some of these games are kind of easy. Some of them are hard. And I would say, by the way, I feel it's harder to choose a game between two stinkers than two good teams.
Yeah. 2 bad teams. I don't know. It's hard because either one could fail more.
This is true. Yeah, you don't know where they're going to fail or how they're going to fail.
Mm-hmm. But they will fail.
But they will fail. All right. Next, it was the Carolina Panthers at the Las Vegas Raiders.
We went with Raiders.
Like the rest of the world.
Who saw this coming?
I don't know. I didn't.
Comment down below if you saw this coming, because I did not.
If you saw that coming, somebody please email me the lotto numbers for a couple of weeks out because that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that. Red hot Denver. Red hot. Sorry, Todd, my brother. He's gonna be like, "What? You called the Raiders the Broncos?" No. The Raiders defense has been good, and Max Crosby on fire. I realize they replaced Bryce Young with the Red Rifle Andy Dalton, but man, he chewed him up.
Andy Dalton.
Did not see that one coming.
If they started Bryce Young, I feel like this game would have gone a different way. That's
the
all
same
I'm
way.
saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, that's why he's on the bench.
Guys on the bench.
All right, next was the Miami Dolphins at Seattle Seahawks. And I chose Seahawks. Not a pretty game, kind of an ugly game. Dolphins had a chance, but couldn't pull it together, as I suspected. All right, next one. I do believe we differed on this one. It's the Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. Yep, Lions won though.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, they did win?
Yeah. Expect you to be in the know. Yeah, they did win. They won by 7. The Detroit Lions won. That means I won because I picked them. And remember, son, if you pick a winner, then you are a winner. Take this advice and go. Wisdom. Okay. Next game. Baltimore at Dallas. I chose Baltimore. Oh, it was kind of fun watching Dallas get blowed up real good.
In the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened to the Baltimore defense. And, well, actually, kudos to the Cowboys. They made some halftime adjustments, came back, made a game of it for a little bit, but just wasn't enough at the very end. And the Ravens held on. Not sure what to think of the Ravens. This will be discussed as we talk about the upcoming game. All right. My San Francisco 49ers, a little bit hurt, a little bit banged up. Going into Los Angeles, their second home because their fans travel well. And thought that the Niners were going to win. I was wrong. I was really wrong.
It's okay.
Not okay.
It's okay.
How do you lose that game? How do you lose? How do you lose?
Your kicker, that's how.
Nah, the defense and the kicker. And I'm going to start a Kyle Shanahan blows the lead hotline. Maybe we can all get together, maybe form a group and discuss, what it's like to constantly be ahead in the fourth quarter and still lose. That's why I wear black. Makes me sad. The next game was the Kansas City Chiefs at the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football. All right. They moved to a double whammy for Monday night, and they're doing that again this next week. And that is 2 games on Monday Night Football. Not sure what to think about that.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's cool. I just don't understand the purpose of it.
If one fails, they have backup.
If one fails, they have a backup.
Genius. Good job, NFL.
Interesting premise. Actually, the games last week were, one was a clunker. That would be the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills. One better than I could have imagined.
Josh Allen killed it.
Trevor, where are you? Trevor!
Where was the Jacksonville's defense? Trevor was there. Where was the defense?
Well, they only scored 10 points. So it wasn't there that much, but I don't
Just
know.
blow up.
There's some problems in Jacksonville. That is for sure. Is Doug Peterson on the hot seat? They haven't won a game, and they haven't looked good losing those games either. So, it hasn't even been close. All right. Then, your team, the Washington Commanders, were on the road in Cincinnati on Monday Night Football. The nation is watching. Surely, the Cats will win. But no, Timothy, what happened?
He can explain this. Mr. Redskin himself.
Yeah, the Commanders.
Jaden Daniels, happy.
Jaden Daniels showed up. The Redskins came ready to play, and they did play. And I mean, it was interesting there at the end. We're kind of curious how that was going to end up. But congratulations, Commanders, who are 2-1, as opposed to the Niners,
1 and 2.
are 1-2. But again, this will not be discussed any further, right?
Maybe.
Okay, all right. Next week's picks. Week 4. Dum, 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 dum. Thursday Night Football starts tomorrow night. Which, by the way, brings me to my point. Every Wednesday, we are going to put out one of these videos. So, like, subscribe, and poof, magically, the notification will make a little bell on your phone or on your computer somewhere, and you'll see that we have posted yet another video imparting our wisdom upon you for NFL picks. Not this will ever mean anything to you, but, you know.
It's there.
It's there. It's another resource you can use. For what? I don't know, but it's a resource. All right, here we go into week 4 predictions. You got yours right?
Yep.
Okay. Thursday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants.
We'll see if the Giants can do anything. We'll see.
See if the Giants can do anything. Bounce back game for me. For the Cowboys, I think.
I think the offense is better than their defense this year, which
Yeah.
sounds like a shocker. But I think this defense, something happened. The Packers broke them somehow.
The Packers broke them.
I think that's what
The
happened.
Packers broke them. Yeah.
They're just never the same.
Not
But
the same.
maybe the Giants can prove that wrong.
Maybe the Giants will prove that wrong. All right. Now this next game is the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons.
Mhm.
This was the hardest one for me.
Yeah,
The
I
hardest
spent a
one for
long
me-
time.
I had to ponder this for a while. And it's like, to me, they're almost identical teams. Almost. I mean, Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins to me are irreversible.
No, Derek Carr's better.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Derek Carr's better.
You think Derek Carr's better than Kirk Cousins?
Well, yeah, of stats now.
Well,
Stats
okay.
look better.
Oh, well, okay, but all right. I mean, stats do represent something. I wouldn't. I don't know. I think they're one and the same. They they've never really done anything, but they haven't really been so awful either. They both have had great seasons, and then they fizzled at the end. Anyhow,
Yeah.
let's see who I chose. I chose, a disagreement.
First.
I basically had to go with the fact that I feel like Falcons are, for some reason, I just feel like they're a better team. I feel like they have more talent. I feel like they have a better defense. I feel like Kirk Cousins is a little bit better than Derek Carr. Well, I just went back on what I said about them being the same, I suppose. But maybe I feel like in this instance, maybe he'll be a little bit better than Derek Carr. I don't know. We'll see. You have anything else to add to that?
I went the Saints because of the offense. I'm hoping the offense can do what they did the first 2 weeks. I mean, it was against the Panthers defense week 1, but still, it was a good show.
It was a good show. But they went up against the Dallas Cowboys. But as we mentioned before, they're broken.
They're broken.
All right. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Carolina Panthers. I think I know who you picked. Obviously, the Panthers, right?
No. Bengals.
The Bengals, I think they can't go 0-4, right?
It would be hard for me to believe 0-4, but you never know.
Never
The
know.
Panthers. Obviously, we were shocked by the Panthers winning against the Raiders.
Yeah, that's true.
It could happen again.
It
That's
could.
all I'm saying.
It could. All right, Los Angeles Rams at Chicago on the road. Big win. You're shaking the table with your little nervous leg. You're doing that. Our poor watchers or viewers they're dizzy now. You should apologize. Okay, moving on. I chose the Rams. Not
Bears.
proud of that.
Bears.
Really? The Bears. Okay. I mean, they do have a defense. I just feel like, I don't know. I think when you win a game like that, it just naturally gives you a boost. Almost like, when you play Madden and you win a certain game, they give you like extra boost points the next
Yeah.
game, if you meet certain goals or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the same thing mentally. I think they got a huge win at home over their rival.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to be riding that high. And I think they're going to probably just be able to eke out another win.
Okay.
These are my thoughts regarding that. All right, next game. This also was a tough one for me. But
Tell them what the game is.
the game is the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. Possibly Jordan Love returns. Not 100% on that. It is on the road for the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
So Green Bay's hosting. And these, I feel like in the past this would always play in favor of the Packers.
Yeah.
But I am going to go with the road team on this one.
You do.
You did, really. I just feel like the Vikings are, in my opinion, a real team. And I think that...
And the Saints aren't.
And the Saints aren't?
Mm-hmm.
I think that, the Vikings are way better than the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I just totally... That's just how I feel. But I feel like this is their first roadblock. If the Minnesota Vikings are going to prove themselves as a team to be at the end of the year in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, second, third round, maybe to talk about a Super Bowl for them possibly, this is the first step. And they have to go into Green Bay and they have to beat them. Mm-hmm. And we'll find out. I think they have the gumption to do it, but we shall soon see. Mm-hmm. Next game, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. Houston Texans. I think that's such a long shot bet for the Jacksonville Jaguars anymore. I just don't see that being a thing. Mm-hmm. So anyhow, we are rolling on as the Peanut Gallery tries to enter. Hello, Peanut Gallery.
I'm not here.
He's not here. Shh, you don't hear him. You don't see him. All right. I lost it. Oh, yeah. This one was this one's different for me. Okay. It's Pittsburgh at Indy. Mm-hmm. And I kind of mixed up the apple cart a little bit. I went with the Colts. I just feel like something inside me says I don't see Justin Fields going 4-0. I'm assuming he's playing, right? I don't know why they'd bench him for Russell Wilson, but I just feel like Indy kind of pulled it together a little bit last week, and I just feel like, I don't know, it's just a gut thing. The gut? You have a gut?
I guess I have a gut.
All right, moving on to Denver at the New York Jets. Jets, Jets. It's hard to go against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They're kind of rolling right now after that first week against the 49ers. Back when the Niners were good. They didn't look great, but they took that loss and it made something good out of it. The Niners took that win and have gone downhill. And so, granted, they played the Titans, and now they're playing the Broncos, and I think they played the Patriots too. So, they haven't really played the best teams in the world, but there's no reason why they should lose to Denver. Even though Denver made some strides last week, I just don't think that they're up to the challenge. All right, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Who you got, Spuds?
Philly.
Yeah, I went with Philly because the Tampa Bay showed me something that I didn't really want to see last week, and that was a weak offensive line, an inability to keep Baker off of his back, the inability to produce points when they could. Godwin was good. Bucky, wasn't that his name? Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving.
That dude's awesome, but I just feel like Philadelphia's just a more established team, and I think they got this one. All right, moving on to your Commanders at the Arizona Cardinals.
Mhm.
I think you're gonna roll with it, bud. Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a high energy win on a Monday night. You got that vibe going,
Mm-hmm.
and Cardinals. Look, they started. They played an amazing game where they dropped 41 on the. Who they dropped 41 on? It was just last week, and I forgot.
Buccaneers?
No, I forgot. The Cardinals a couple of weeks ago just completely obliterated somebody. I forgot who it was. They laid up 41 points on them. Didn't think that was going to happen, and they just wow, they did. But since then, I've been kind of figured out a little bit, and I just think that Jane Daniels is a little bit. I think it's too early to tell how good he is, but I feel like he dropped some really good dimes the other night. He did really good. I was very impressed. I think he can take that momentum and go into Arizona because I need Arizona to lose too. So that could be part of it. All right. The next game is the New England Patriots at San Francisco.
There's no way you can screw this up.
I don't know. You would think not, but should have had the win last week against the Rams. And they should have won the week before as well, but they just
Aren't able to fulfill.
they got I don't know. Vikings really tough, so hard to say. Either way, this is the turning point for the Niners to go 1-3. That's brutal. Be really hard to dig themselves out, and I think that this is the team they can bounce back with. Not that the Patriots are awful. It's just you can come back home and settle at home. And I think that their defense needs to pull it together against this offense. They need something. So, all right. So I'm going Niners. Okay. Next, Chiefs at the Chargers. Ooh.
What? You just think I'm gonna do Chiefs?
We both chose the Chargers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We both think the Chargers are going to beat the Chiefs. That's crazy. I think it's possible for a couple reasons. Chiefs, yeah, they're 3-0, but
Maybe I'm just sick of the Chiefs. That's probably why. But I think the defense can step it up.
I feel like if anyone can figure out, it would be Harbaugh. He's really good at stuff like this, at figuring out like teams that are kind of tough. And this is a division game. And I just feel like Harbaugh's going to have his team prepared. Of course, Andy Reid and the Chiefs, they'll be prepared. It's Patrick Mahomes. I get all that. But the Chiefs are beatable. They didn't look good the last several weeks. They almost lost to the Falcons. They almost lost to the Bengals. And they almost lost to the Ravens.
The Ravens, by a foot.
By a foot, literally. So I realize close doesn't count, but in hand grenades and horseshoes. But it shows a trend that they can be beat, and the right team can come along and beat them. No team's going to go undefeated. This just seems like they're set up to lose this particular week. I'll just say that. All right. Next up, keeping it in the AFC West, sort of. It's the Cleveland Browns at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders, please win.
Raiders, please win. Browns are one of the worst teams in the league right now. Hard to believe, but they just don't look good on either side of the ball. And they just lost to the Giants at home.
Not a good look.
Not a good look. And I realized that the Raiders had an equally painful loss to the Panthers. But I think the Raiders. I think that was their wake up call. They're like, hey, if we're gonna be in this, we got to win. All right. Next up, this was a hard one for me. It's Buffalo at Baltimore. I chose the Ravens. This is also a test game for Josh Allen and this incarnation of the Buffalo Bills.
Incarnation.
This version of them. Are they going to win, Is this something that they're going to be able to establish themselves as a good team going forward? Like, are they different than they've been? We know they're a good team. They can make the playoffs, but they lose to Kansas City pretty much every year. So can they establish themselves earlier on in the season by going up against a tough team, which Baltimore is still tough. Baltimore has been in every game that they've been in, lost a couple barely, and then they were able to start beating the Cowboys, and then they lost, or I'm sorry, they won, but barely, because the Cowboys started to come back. And I think that, it's on the line for the Ravens. Like, they can't go to 1-3. They need to keep the momentum going to 2-2.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just going to be tougher. I think the Bills are gonna face a tougher Baltimore team than they initially thought. Is all I'm saying. All right, now we're going to move to the double headers from Monday night next week.
Yep.
And the first game is Tennessee at Miami. Clunker, in my opinion, right?
Yep. This was tough.
It was tough. It's tough to choose, but I went with experience. Whoa. I mean, okay, they don't really have a quarterback. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really either.
Better than Skylar Thompson.
Okay, I would agree with that. But I mean, they got to figure out how to get their playmakers. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Achane, who's done pretty good this year. But they got to get. They had opportunities last week in Seattle against a tough defense, but they blew it. And
like this team. The Titans have blown it an awful lot. It's just they need Will Levis to stop throwing interceptions and to start performing at this top level. And honestly, I don't think that losing Derrick Henry was too big of a deal. Tony Pollard isn't doing bad. He's just being average, pretty much.
But he's not King Henry.
He's not King Henry, but King Henry wants a lot of money.
Well, that's what happens to everybody. He deserves that money,
Mm-hmm.
in theory. I mean,
Yep.
He's doing pretty good in Baltimore, and I think they do miss him to a certain degree. But I'm going to stick with Miami. I think that it's a gut check for them. They are a playoff team from last year, and I think that they should have the experience, the veteran locker room, the veteran coaching to be able to. It may be an ugly win, but I think they're going to win. All right, the last game on Monday night, it is the Seattle Seahawks at Detroit. Ooh, we vary.
I knew you were going to choose the Lions.
Well, I still think the Lions are a good team. This is they almost won the NFC Championship last year. They almost went to the Super Bowl. They haven't really done a whole lot to disprove it. They had a tough game against Cardinals, which they barely won. They lost the week prior. But I think that, and I know Seattle's a tough defense. I get that. And I know it's, that they are at home. That's going to help. So they don't have to deal with the 12s and the loudness with the false starts and stuff like that. Jared Goff knows Seattle a little bit because, his experience in Los Angeles, playing Seattle on a regular basis, realize it's a slightly different team than when he played in Los Angeles that he's going up against. But I still feel that Detroit is, again, we're getting to the point in the season where teams have to start proving who they are.
Yep.
And in order for either one of these teams to prove who they are, that this is it. And for Detroit, I think it's more is on the line for them, I would say, than Seattle. Not that Seattle's trying to lose a game. That's not what I'm saying. But I do believe that, they're going to play with a little bit more heart. They can play with a little bit more oomph to them because it's more dire for them, I think. Even though they won last week. But they got to keep the momentum up because they got to keep up with the Vikings in the NFC North. So they know that this has playoff implications in this game. So they're going to play their best. And I think they're going to show up. You adding up how you did last week?
Yep.
All right. How did you do last week, Timothy?
Not good.
Not good?
I only got 5 right and I got 9 wrong.
5 right, 9 wrong for Spuds. And I got 10 right. and 6 wrong. So I beat you again. Yes. Remember, we do have a punishment at the end of the year for Spuds when he loses to his dad over the span of the entire season. So come up with a good punishment. Again, nothing like disgusting or bad food or painful. But come up with a punishment that the lad will have to do when he admits that his dad is smarter than him, right? All right. Like and subscribe. We'll make a video again of our predictions for next week on Wednesday. It's what we do. Hope you guys have a great week. God bless you.